everyone, welcome back to Ormsby Farm. My name is Casey. So on today's video, I wanted to sit down because I get this question asked a lot. When I talk about, okay, we're aiming to do 85% of eating what we grow and that kind of stuff. And the question that most people ask is, well, how can you really know what percentage you're doing? So I wanted to sit down and with a meal plan sheet that we have at our Etsy store, I'll talk about more, sit down and figure out the percentage and show you an easy way that you can figure out what percentage of your meals that you're eating are homegrown or store-bought. So stick around after the intro.
I'm coming home.
So yeah, the question I get all the time is, Casey, how do you really know what percentage you're eating from your farm-raised or homegrown stuff to stuff that you get from the store? Because I say a lot on my videos, I say our goal is about 85%. And they're like, well, how do you really know? How can you really know? I wanted to show you an easy way that I do when I'm planning for canning season or gardening season to figure out what percentage we're eating here at Ormsby Farm. Now, I use this little meal planner. Show it in here. Now, I have it in download on our Etsy store. It's going to be in a link in the description box. It's 50 cents because Etsy wouldn't let me put it for free. But if you're interested, the link is down below. Head over to Etsy. You can go ahead and download it and print it out and use it. We use this literally every single week when we're planning out the foods, when I'm going through the meals and for the week, so I know what to pull out, what I need to cook, especially on busy farmers market days or bread making days. Having stuff prepped and prepared is really important. So it's an easy kind of dinner process. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of tilt you down so you can kind of see what it is, and then I'll tilt you back up so we can kind of talk about how you kind of score, I guess, if you will, score the meal plan and how to know what percentage you're eating from your homegrown food. Alrighty, so if you see I have here, everything kind of detailed out in, get you a little bit closer, like the breakfast with our lunches and with the dinners. Now, writing everything out, this just comes to an honesty thing. You write it out so you can correctly score. Like, do you put creamer in your coffee? Do you put sugar in your coffee? What sauces do you put on your eggs or your bread or whatever it is? Here on the appetizer one, I'll kind of get to it. You can kind of make a separate one for that. And also, I'm taking away 5 points right here because Sunday after church is I usually eat out. So that is not homegrown. I do the same kind of thing with my breads. So if you see here, I've mentioned bread, but we do not grow wheat on our farm, and we do not grow sugar or yeast. So those, I take away another 5 points, and I'll show you because it's still homemade bread, but I don't grow the wheat here. So I'll never be 100%, if that makes sense. But I kind of map it out. We're really big into doing leftovers or making a meal that is leftover for the next day. So, oh, did you hear that? Oh, somebody's cock-a-doodle-ooing. So we'll take this point and put it here in the leftover section for the next day when we get to doing points. So basically going back to it, it's kind of the honesty system when you're putting your score down. So basically what I do is I put an H next to a homegrown, I put S next to a store. Now there are a couple things that I kind of cheater, pumpkin eater do when I'm scoring. One of them is certain sauces, like my hot sauce. We make the hot sauce here. The only thing that I don't make here is vinegar, but I do buy it in bulk. That's kind of the same thing. I don't do it as much as I do the breads, how I take away 5 points for the breads. My sauces and my vinegars, I just kind of count it as a win. So that's why I said cheater, pumpkin eater. So my hot sauces, my relish, my pickles, all that stuff, homegrown, even though I don't do my own vinegars. You can do your own vinegars. And we have done vinegars before, but the white distilled I still buy in bulk. Same thing, rice, we will never grow here. But we do bulk ordering. Now I will leave the link to Azure Standard down in the bio box. If you have not heard of Azure Standard before, where you been? But you can click down and sign up. It's a great organic bulk buying site. You don't have to buy bulk. It's different farms, and you order once a month. You can either pick it up at a pickup site or they can have it delivered to your door. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I probably will do one with you and then do the rest of them, and then we'll tally the points and I'll figure out what my percentage is. So what you're gonna do is you're going to mark all of your stuff and count them as a point. So tally up all of your points, store-bought and homegrown, and then you're gonna divide it into each other. So first, let's start with a breakfast morning. Coffee, store-bought. I don't grow coffee beans, probably won't, don't know. So we're gonna put an S by that. Now, right now, orange juice. We are getting fruit trees in our greenhouse, but as of right now, we do not grow oranges. S. Wah, wah. Now, another thing that I could make homemade, but I don't, but I plan on doing it, is creamer. Because we do milk from a friend here that we are farmers market friends with. We get her milk and I turn it into cheeses and that kind of stuff. But my coffee creamer I still buy from the store. So it's an S. Now, another thing that I want to talk about is the meats. If you followed us, you know we have chickens and turkeys, but of course we don't have the meat from them or the eggs from them yet. So we are purchasing and bartering with local farmers market friends. So I'm considering that H, homegrown, because literally in a couple weeks, we will be kind of self-sufficient on that. So bacon, we buy our pork from a local farmer. That is an H. Eggs, same, just like I always said it, one of my good girlfriends that hatched my chickens and turkeys for me, we buy eggs from her until our eggs start producing. So eggs is an H. Jams, I make my own jams. It's from our fruit trees. Again, it's semi-cheater, because I don't grow sugar and I don't grow the pectin. But we still gonna say H because that's just how it is. Bread, we talked about that before. It is an H because I take away 5 points for the flour and stuff. Hot sauce is an H. So we're on Sunday right now. That was breakfast. So now I'm moving down to dinner because remember lunch, I'm usually in town for church. Don't eat homegrown stuff. For dinner, wine. As of right now, we do not produce our own wine. We are planning to do it in the fall of this year. So you'll want to make sure that you are subscribing, hitting the bell icon so you know that when new content comes to the channel. But I'm not going to be a cheater, and I am going to put S by our wine. Now, I section the dinners off into appetizers, cocktails, and dinner. Now, for the appetizers, you could get really detail-oriented and flip your sheet over and write out all the ingredients that are in your appetizers. You know, I'm really big into pre-making appetizers, flash freezing them, and then have them in the freezer when you want to pull a couple out for an appetizer. So like with the sausage balls, sausage we get from a local farm, flour we do not get, and I make a cheese from the milk that we get from a local homesteader. So it is kind of homegrown, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put HHS, and we're going to count it as 3 different points. Chicken, again, we do not, when I was thinking of making this video, I was like, how am I going to do this? We will, as you heard, have chickens, and we will have them for meat. We buy chicken as of right now from the store. So what I'm going to put, because we're doing it as of right now, is I'm going to put S. So we're doing S for the chicken. Because I told you, I don't want to be a cheater. Rice. I'm buying it in bulk. It is easier to buy bulk than even try to do rice. So I will happily put an S for the rice. Chicken, rice, zucchini, squash, both of those are from our garden. They're doing really good right now. So most of our meals, the veggie is the zucchini squash because they're going crazy. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add up all the other stuff and come back when I've tallied up the points. Oh, there's Mom walking around in the background, even though she didn't want to be on the video. Let me tally this up. So now what I'm going to do, because I have it all tallied up, is I'm going to count the number of H's, which remember is the homegrown, and then I'm going to tally up the number of S's, which is store, and add in the 2 minus 5s, because that's going to count for the points in the end. So let me just do, okay, so now I have 77 H's and I have 64 S's. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add those together. That's 141. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide that number by your H's. And I'm gonna have to turn off the camera for a minute because I've got to use a calculator. And I actually said it wrong. I meant you're gonna take the 71 and divide it into 141, which gives me 54%. So not super great right now. That's why I'm trying to build to 85%. But 54% of what we eat on a weekly basis is homegrown. And you could do the whole divide it by 4 and then, or multiply it by 4 and by 12 to know what you eat in a year. But it's pretty much gonna be the same. It's still gonna be your 54%. So now what you wanna do, which will be a totally different video, if you're interested, let me know in the comment section if you're interested. You're gonna go back and you're gonna look at the S's and you're gonna say, Casey, can I grow that? Do I need it? How can I get this percentage higher? Like again, a big portion of mine is the chicken because we eat chicken a lot and we'll have chicken within a couple months. So that will hike our number up a lot. Let's see where else I'm being the bougie. Oh, the wine. Again, we will be making our own wine in the fall. That will hike our numbers up. But really it's the chicken, it is the wine, and it's the coffee, and it's the orange juice. Remember we talked about the oranges. I probably won't have those for a couple years because we are planting those in the fall, but they probably won't produce for, I think 3 years, I think is what the standard is. But all in all, I'm not terribly disappointed. 54% is pretty good. We've saved a lot of money doing this meal planning way, and we're only just gonna grow from here on eating what we grow. So y'all, thank you so much for tuning into this video. Again, if you're interested in the weekly meal planner, there is a link in the description box to my Etsy. It's 50 cents because Etsy wouldn't let me put it for free, but it's 50 cents. You can download it. You'll get the PDF and you can make your kind of meal plan and print it out weekly and plan out your meals, or figure out what the percentage of the meals that you're eating are homegrown. Y'all, I hope you are subscribing to the channel and pressing that bell icon so you know anytime that new content drops to the channel. because I got some really cool, fun videos coming up this summer and into the fall. And of course, there's lots of updates coming up on the baby chickens and turkeys. Y'all also follow me on social media because I post there too. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter at Ormsby Farm. And until next video, y'all, bye. Be blessed. Happy meal planning.
I'm coming home.